This week on the show, we have Connor Spies from the hit Netflix show Love is Blind, Season 10. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of understanding that you become more magnetic by being your true self. Authenticity is the key to becoming magnetic. The reality is, most people think they can be successful or more attractive by copying others. But copying other people does not make you more magnetic, because being magnetic comes from being original. In fact, copying or trying to fit in has the opposite effect, as it strips you from all the things that make you special and different. The most magnetic and successful people out there are true to themselves. Their uniqueness makes them magnetic. After all, how can you ever duplicate one of one? Whether it's a celebrity who you admire or someone in your life that you look up to, their individuality is what you are drawn to. Remember, originality can be imitated but can never be duplicated. As Oprah Winfrey so famously quoted, "I had no idea that being your authentic self could make me as rich as I've become. If I had known so, I would have done it a lot earlier."
Stay tuned. Coming up after the break.
And Connor, take us behind the scenes of being in the pods. What was it like building a connection with someone without ever seeing them?
Yeah, I mean, crazy. Definitely didn't think I could ever date more than one girl at once, let alone 16. And so that was pretty crazy, just the thought of it and being in it. And all of us could probably say the same thing, that none of us were really ever thinking that we could date that many people. But when you kind of went into each pod, it really felt like its own kind of world, its own relationship. You really kind of blocked everything else out. And that was the most surprising part for me. Just as kind of an overthinker, always maybe a little bit like FOMO of what's going on in other pods or in the lounge, or just like, oh, someone's dating her and I'm dating her. It's something about the process, and even like the producers, and even just being with the girls and the guys in the cast, everyone kind of made it seem just a little bit more normal, which definitely helped out everybody. Just being able to talk about it instead of telling one of your buddies like, "Oh, I'm dating 16 chicks."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what that means, so I can't relate." Whereas everybody could relate in the lounge, and even the girls that you were talking to across the ball.
Wardrobe provided by Le Chateau.
Next up on the show, we have Connor Spies from the hit Netflix show Love is Blind, Season 10. Connor, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
Good, thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for being here. But before we dive into all things Love is Blind, let's take it back to the beginning. I know that, what was it about the show concept that intrigued you and made you feel that would be a right fit for you?
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure at the very beginning. Honestly, I'd watch like snippets of it, episodes here and there, and just kind of how I'm sure most of you guys are. You're like, who could do that? Why would they do that? That's kind of crazy. It's a crazy concept. Not sure that that's for me. And then, kind of my sisters and my cousins were the ones that said, "Hey, it's up the road an hour and a half north of you. Why don't you try it out?" I was like, I feel like it's not just something you can walk into and just get on it. So after, I guess, them kind of helping me sign up-ish, going through the whole process, you kind of get yourself mentally and ready for it by that point. So
yeah, absolutely. And with any reality show, you really have to put yourself out there. So did you have any hesitations in doing so, or did it just come natural for you?
Yeah, definitely not natural. Natural would be crazy if this stuff, you just walked in there and were natural. Definitely hesitations, because I wasn't really using social media too much before. I wasn't really going too much on it. I wouldn't say I'm like a private person, but I'm definitely not like post what I'm doing at all times type guy. So just for potentially everyone seeing what I'm doing kind of on a daily basis, the thought of privacy was kind of out the window, which you don't really even understand really until you're just at the grocery store and someone, like, I was getting a car wash yesterday and the person's just like, are you from the show? I said, yeah, but it's just stuff like that. It's you almost have to consciously think, as much as you're like, oh no, I don't care what people think, or care what people seeing what I do, but at the same time, you do have to consciously be like, there are eyes on you before that weren't there. So, I mean, whatever you're doing, whatever you're wearing, even, it's one of those things you're just like, you don't think about it, and you're just going to the grocery store quick, and maybe you have some miscolored clothing on or something, or just one of your old shirts that have some tears in them, and somebody's like, hey, you're from the show, can I take a picture? And you're like, so I didn't put on deodorant yet, so like take it from like 2 feet over there. Like I don't. Yeah. And someone's like, oh, that dude just smells. Like careful next time you take a picture. So it's just little stuff like that you never really thought of, and obviously did not think of before the show. And it's definitely been one of the biggest, I guess, challenges or differences that you didn't really think about leading up to it. But I mean, it'd be naive to think that no one would recognize you. So kind of just deal with it and make it as much fun as possible.
No more going to the grocery store all grungy, right?
No, it's probably helped me for the best, because I used to go in even in pajama pants before. Just, I mean, nobody knows me. Who cares? I don't care what they think of that thing. And then someone gets a picture of you, and you're like, I could probably put on some nicer clothes just being in public now.
And Connor, take us behind the scenes of being in the pods. What was it like building a connection with someone without ever seeing them? Yeah,
I mean, crazy. Definitely didn't think I could ever date more than one girl at once, let alone 16. And so that was pretty crazy, just the thought of it and being in it. And all of us could probably say the same thing, that none of us were really ever thinking that we could date that many people. But when you kind of went into each pod, it really felt like its own kind of world, its own relationship. You really kind of blocked everything else out. And that was the most surprising part for me. Just as kind of an overthinker, always maybe a little bit like FOMO of what's going on in other pods or in the lounge, or just like, oh, someone's dating her and I'm dating her. It was something about the process, and even like the producers, and even just being with the girls and the guys in the cast. Everyone kind of made it seem just a little bit more normal, which definitely helped out everybody. Just being able to talk about it instead of tell one of your buddies like, oh, I'm dating 16 chicks.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I don't know what that means, so I can't relate. Whereas everybody could relate in the lounge, and even the girls that you were talking to across the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And your journey on Love is Blind didn't end up in marriage, but I feel like you built so many amazing connections on the show. So tell us about your relationship with the cast of the series.
Yeah, honestly, we are a legit family, honestly. There's obviously been some ups and downs. There's been some fights. There's been some good, some bad. But honestly, that's like what a family does. Like it's one of those that once the dust settles and everyone kind of takes their time to process everything, and everyone's got different ways and timetables of how they process. So for some it's earlier, some it's later, and that's totally fine. But I really do feel like the family aspect from it, like season 10 will forever be like, I mean, the boys were talking about getting a tattoo. So, I mean, we're just a little like Roman numeral 7, but like, I mean, it's a crazy thing that very, very few people in the world get to go through. So, especially post show, at least I try to look at it that way, that it is a family aspect. Still pretty close with most of the boys. I get along with most of the girls as well. But it's different for everybody, I think. I'm more of just like an open and friendly guy, and try to see the good in people too. So I know that I think I might process things way different than other people, but in general, I think I have a good relationship with most people, and try to stay as friendly as possible, and friends with a lot of them. But obviously, you connect differently with everybody, and sometimes those connections get stronger, or they kind of filter out. But regardless, like, these people will be my family forever. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you have like such a unique experience with them. You're bound to get close, right? So it totally makes sense.
It'd be everyone has a different experience, but like, it's not like you can ever, like, this thing's gonna be on TV for the rest of our lives. So it's also like, maybe bury some hatchets, maybe see how people see things differently. So I try to, at least as much as possible, view it from a lot of different viewpoints. But obviously you make closer friendships than others. So it's been fun. Just even like making content with Jordan a lot. Same with Harmel. Harmel films a lot of our like our little Instagram reels and TikTok stuff. So it's been fun to get to know them. And a lot of the guys who weren't shown. I'm friends with too, so I've mentioned them in some videos. But in general, yeah, I mean the guys pretty tight in general, and it's always good just to see that group message pop up and be like, "How's everyone doing?" And that's usually actually Alex, which is pretty funny. So like, yeah, we've got a couple group messages with boys, but yeah, it's always great to hear, and whenever I can see any of them, I always try to.
Very nice. And Connor, has your idea of love and dating evolved since being on the show?
Evolved? I don't know. It's a good question. I think there's been a ton of self-growth and a new kind of sense of independence-ish, and that's partly from Bree giving me that confidence throughout like the show and throughout the year. It's also been just, I think, kind of like intrinsically, because usually I haven't really done. I'm more of an extrinsically motivated guy, so it's been fun kind of just see that new side of just, I guess, myself in that self-growth part, and it's definitely attributed to some of the show for sure. It's one of those things, like, I think you always know you have it in there. It just takes a certain experience to go through to see that growth and to kind of believe in that and to see it. So, but dating wise, like, I guess, like, the love part of it, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know if it's evolved really. It's just such a different side of things that you never think of. And I think one thing I could say is all the people that say like, "Oh, that's not for me. Like, I can never see myself doing that." I was that person. So as long as you go in there with great intentions and you're yourself, I think that could be attested to almost any situation in your life. It doesn't even have to be dating, but in such a high stress environment, like, you gotta at least try to be as true to yourself as possible and go in with that open mind. So yeah, I'd say if I haven't before, I definitely like would recommend that to people, just for my personal experience, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about self-growth, what's something that you learned about yourself in this whole process of being on Love is Blind?
Something that I learned about myself. That's a good question as well, man. You're hitting me with some good ones today. Like I said,
I have thought-provoking questions.
It really has. I haven't had these in a while. Yeah, I would probably go back to like the self-independence. I've kind of been. I used to be a people pleaser, pretty bad, and so I think it kind of shaped that I am. I think it kind of turned me into like being able to separate to be reliable to people and then people pleasing. Like, when I'm going out of my way to do things I don't want to do consistently, that even affects my emotions, my just kind of just daily vibe, and like my good friends and the people around me are going to appreciate when either like I don't want to do something or I'm not comfortable doing something, instead of me going out of my comfort zone to do something kind of little that doesn't really mean much to them. Whereas like in my brain, I'm like, I gotta do this thing on Tuesday at 7 and then see a buddy at like 8:30 and make everything work all the time. When like the people who truly care about you and the people who do, like our friends within your family, like are going to appreciate whatever effort you make. So it's honestly this thing. It kind of showed me like, yes, continue to stay true to yourself, but even more like take it to the next step. Like, these people will be there for you if it's meant to be type deal, but don't stretch who you are too far, because they're going to lose sight of yourself.
That's a great lesson, actually. I think that's a great life lesson in general, is, to be true to yourself and to have boundaries, right? If you don't want to do something, saying no is okay. It's okay to say no,
right?
Burden yourself. So I think that's a lesson we all learn, right, in life.
Yeah. And it's something stupid. It's one thing if somebody needs you there. That's like, I've always thought like, oh, they need me, but then it's like, hey, would you want to come to the bar? And if I don't, I'm like, oh, I will, because I feel like I should. And they're like, you don't have to come, dude. And so it's just little stuff like that you try to take, and like I said, as long as you're staying true to yourself and as much as possible, the people that know that when they do need you, they'll reach out. And that's kind of like the mindset I'm trying to at least take from even the past year.
Very nice. And Connor, do you believe Love is Blind? After being on the show, I ask all the contestants that. I'm always curious after their experience if they still believe that. So do you still believe that?
I think so. I mean, and I think it's been said probably 1,000 times to an extent, but like I think it is. As long as you're doing the right things, you're there for the right reasons, you're going in it with 100% ready to roll mindset, I think good things will come, and I think you can find that right person. It's in love. It doesn't always have to be like through a wall either. It could be just one of those things where you put your phone away, all distractions away. It doesn't have to be exactly blind, or you don't have to know exactly everything about them, at least at the beginning. It's just about taking that extra step, I think, in maybe today's modern dating world, just to see what it is like. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, a crazy experiment in 10 days, but I think in general, like, you can really fall in love with someone's personality and fall in love with like who they are as a person without all the physical characteristics.
Absolutely. And Connor, I created my platform to inspire, to uplift, and to really showcase that anything is possible with, a dream and determination. So for anyone out there that is maybe afraid to put themselves out there, whether that's in love, in their career, they're afraid to put themselves out there. What would you say to inspire and uplift them?
I'll say it's very normal, first of all. I've been there many times, and like you said, there's so many different realms. I think especially with being on a show about dating and relationships, that's the first thing people kind of either ask me about or even advice wise. But there's so many realms where you are uncomfortable, and being in the uncomfortable, it's for a reason. It's going to help you grow. It's going to be something different. Instead of if you're going to do what you always did, you're always going to get what you always got. And so as long as that uncomfortable, you're not scared to take that on and take that risk, because there's so many greater opportunities about trying to take that risk than just being who like you always are. And that could be moving, new jobs, new relationships. It could even be as simple as a conversation that you need to have with a friend or a relative or a family member, whatever it is. And so being in the uncomfortable is totally fine, and it's totally normal. Everyone is in it, everyone's done it, and it'd be weird if you've never jumped out of the uncomfortable. So just know that it is so normal, and everybody at some point has done it, and it's okay.
It's so true. If you do what you've always done, you're going to stay in the same place, right? You need to do something different and put yourself out there, right? To your results. So I think that's great, and I commend you for doing that, because you do seem introverted. So for you to do that, it's a big deal. And I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of people to also put themselves out there now.
I hope so. Even just a few people, because I was definitely the introvert. Don't love taking the big risks. A little bit of anxiety here and there, but man, I attribute it to definitely the people around me, my family, and even nowadays, even just I guess these new friends and followers that I kind of made, just kind of even pushing me to do more, whether it's content or just kind of chatting with people, getting to know people more. It's helped me kind of come out of my shell even more, that there's just so many good people out there, and just love hearing all these new stories. And that was even on the show too, like all 16 guys were just different in every single way. And people will ask me, man, like all day in the lounge, what are you guys doing? Like, would you be bored? And when you watch other shows like Survivor or something, you're like, man, they're just sitting in that tent for 16 hours a day. How you do it? It's because we're all human. We have such different lifestyles, upbringings, hobbies, interests. And that's what the lounge was. We were all so different, but all in this experience together. So it was so fun learning about all the guys and their stories, their hobbies, and some of them, they'll all say that some of us know some of those guys know more than some of your friends do, even back home, just because you were talking with them for 8 hours as you're talking to the girls for 8 hours. So there's some stuff that you share with them just to whether it's to pass the time, to kind of get to know them more, and you become such like trustworthy allies at that point. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're spending so much time with them, so I'm sure they know a lot about you after.
Let's get to know each other. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Amazing. Connor, thank you so much for being on the show today, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for you.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. Thanks so much.
The Darriel Roy Show is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.